Just have a little peek.
Normally at the top somewhere, a little red light.
I can see it now. Yes.
Okay, so we're recording. Cool. All right. So welcome everybody. This is dōTERRA yoga and essential oils. We'll also be talking a little bit about meditation as well. So this call is brought to you by me, also by Kyla Williams and Ayla O'Ryan. So we'll just start by briefly introducing ourselves before giving you a little background about dōTERRA oils. And then Kyla will be talking about specifically how some of the oils can be used within your yoga practice, if it's your personal practice, but also how you can use the oils within, your class or your retreat, if that's how you're kind of wanting to weave the oils in. So I'll start. My name's Barber, and I've been sharing the oils for about a year now. I discovered them a little over a year ago, and I attended an online webinar similar to this one. And initially I was just attending the class to get a few more ideas about the non-dōTERRA oils that I already had, and because I was just curious to start using my oils a little bit more. But when I understood, how and why these oils are different to other oils, I knew that I wanted to get them and use them, at home myself, for myself and my family, but also incorporate them into my business so I could share them with my clients. So outside of dōTERRA, I'm a nutritional therapist. I'm also a mum to 2 small boys. I do something called biofeedback alongside my nutrition, and I've always had a kind of a natural, had been naturally focused. And so for me, these oils are just, are wonderful. They're another way that I can kind of support myself, my family, and my clients. And in many ways, they're very, very effective, and even more effective in many ways than certainly than medication, but also from, supplements. In some cases, they can work faster and quicker. So that's a little bit about me. I'll pass you over to Kyla now.
Hi. So I came across the oils about 3 years ago, but I've only started using them myself personally for the last sort of 4.5 months. Before, I used to work as a holistic therapist, doula, yoga teacher, and several other things. And so I've been using oils probably since 2000. So I've been using oils for over 17 years. The difference is that when I came across the dōTERRA oils, particularly about 4 months ago, I went to a class a little bit similar to this, but it was a live class with Sarah and another woman named Jasmine. And they had a lovely sort of spread of, essential oils in kombucha, and oils in chocolates, and oils in popcorn, and oils in hummus. And unlike, how I was previously using the oils, I realized I could then start integrating them into the food that I ate, which I always wanted to do before, but I just knew that it wasn't safe to do that. And I came across the dōTERRA oils and found out that they were FDA approved and able to, to add to my, my raw chocolates and treats and stuff, as well as the raw natural beauty products I use. So it was kind of a no-brainer when I came across them, and I just love using them ever since, really, for everything. My yoga practice, with client work that I do, with women's workshops that I run, making beauty products, using at home. My husband is even using them. He loves them, which I'm very surprised about, but very pleasantly pleased that he likes them as well. So I think that's a little bit about me. And we're going to pass it on to Ayla, is it, Sarah?
That's right. Yep. Thank you.
Okay.
Morning, everyone. And excuse me for not putting my video camera on, but I have a really swollen eye, and it cannot take being in any light. So you wouldn't be able to see me even if I turn the camera on, because I'm like in a darkened room listening to you all, but just not trying to look at the screen very much. I'm Ayla. I've been an aromatherapist since 10 years now, 2007, and also a doula and women's empowerment advocate in various different ways, nutritionist, naturopath, all the good stuff. It might get noisy because they're doing some roadworks in my tiny Spanish village where I live. So even though normally all you hear is the hooting of owls, you have these big trucks rolling past right now. I might mute. But anyway, here I am, ready and excited to meet you all.
Lovely. Thank you, Han. Thanks very much. Alrighty, so we'll get started. So, there's the title.
There, can I just check in? Is Ayla going to be sharing and speaking through the video, or will it be mainly us?
Yes, it's mainly us today because of her eye, and she's not able to look at the screen. The light's really affecting her eyes at the moment, so she's just going to say hello today.
Okay.
Okay, so
where would you like to start, Han?
Well, I'm happy to do the introduction if you're happy to do the yoga bit in the middle.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, we'll kind of weave.
Sure, I'm happy to weave. Come on, computer. So I will make a start, even though I'm waiting for the computer to catch up. Because, yeah, there you go. So, what is an essential oil? So, can everyone see that?
Mm-hmm.
So, it's getting ahead of itself. So, an essential oil is, it's a volatile aromatic compound, and it's found in many different areas of the plant. So, it depends on the oil itself, but it could be from the root, it could be from the bark, it could be from the flowers, from the seeds. Yeah, it really just depends on which oil we have. And usually they are steam distilled, but sometimes they might be cold pressed in the case of citrus oils. And they're very powerful. They're 100% natural. There's nothing added. There's nothing taken away. When dōTERRA are extracting the oils, they're really trying to get the oil, exactly the same as it was in the plant. And the purpose of the essential oils within the plant themselves is they have different functions. Sometimes they're providing a protective function for the plant. They might have a role in reproduction, so pollination. They might help provide nutrients if nutrients are particularly scarce. And the essential oils also have a protective factor sometimes for the plant. So they might be protecting the plant from pests or diseases. And lastly, they may have a repairing kind of sort of quality. So if the leaves got damaged, for example, then the essential oil might actually help repair that. So the cool thing about essential oils is that they are organic and they're carbon-based, and so are we. And so the same qualities, the same benefits that the essential oils can bring to the plants, they also can bring for us. So we can kind of tap into that same benefit, if you like. If anybody needs to mute their line, I don't know if they could do that, because I can hear just a little bit of background noise my end. Welcome, Natalie. See you just joined.
We've got a little bit of pool action happening in my background.
Okay.
The noise.
Okay, no worries.
A bit of, stream bubbling pool action.
Okay, no worries. If it does get noisy, it's not noisy at the moment, but you could always mute kind of when you're in between, when you're not doing your...
Would you like me to do that just in case it's me?
Why not? Why not? There we go. Okay. So in terms of what makes, why dōTERRA, there are no regulations for essential oils currently. So we're in a position here in the UK and in most other countries where, you may have a bottle of oil, just like I did, that says it's 100% pure or 100% natural, but actually that particular oil only needs to have 2 to 5% of pure oil in it for the label to say 100% pure or 100% natural. So, this isn't really helping the essential oils industry, because, of course people are then going to be buying oils that they think are pure and natural, using them, and then they're not going to get the results that they hope for. So what dōTERRA decided to do in the absence of any regulations or any standards is to create their own. So you'll see there that their standard is called the CPTG, and that stands for Certified Pure Therapeutic Grade. And what this really means is that every drop of oil in every single bottle of oil is 100% pure. So it's free from any contaminants, any adulterations. There's no, like in other oils, you know, in other, even the best high street oils that I had that I thought were 100% pure, I've since kind of understood that they are, you know, probably adulterated is the word that's used by about 50% with carrier oil. So in a good quality alternative oil, hopefully there's nothing in there that's actually going to damage us, but it's just not going to have the therapeutic potential that an oil that's genuinely 100% pure can have. So the CPTG, how do they guarantee that the oil is pure? And, you know, how do I know that it's pure? I'm telling you guys, but how do I really know that it's pure? What dōTERRA do is they do a lot of testing to the oil at different stages along the production of the oil. And they do more testing than anybody else that I know in the industry. They do 15 different tests, 15. But they also invest a lot of money in their tests, in the sense that there's one test, for example, called gas chromatography. And this is a really expensive test to run, okay? And many companies, they might still do this test, but they might just run it for a short amount of time so that they can say, yeah, we've done that test. But actually, you need to run this test for about 2.5 hours to actually pick up whether there might be anything in the oil that we don't want there. So the difference with dōTERRA is they actually do run the tests, you know, very thoroughly, and they put a lot of money into the testing to make sure that the oils that we have are 100% pure. There's a source, a resource that dōTERRA created this year, and it's really beautiful to look at anyway, called source2you.com. Source as in sourcing oil, source2you.com. But what's really nice is when you have your bottle of oil, you can turn it over, and on the back of the bottle, on the bottom, you have a little number. I'm just going to grab my oils because they're behind me. And you can go into source2you.com and you can put the little number at the top there as the serial number, and you can trace your bottle of oil back. You can view the quality reports, and the quality reports, the last phase of testing is actually done independently to eliminate any, you know, potential bias, and so that we all know that, you know, they're definitely pure. dōTERRA actually, they offer any other company to meet the same standard, the CPTG standard, and to use that standard. But so far, no one has. So that's also another indication of how pure the dōTERRA oils are. You know, you could have a bottle of lavender that it even might pass as 100%, not with dōTERRA, but 100% pure lavender. But it could be a synthetic bottle of lavender, and again, you know, you need very thorough testing. It's quite difficult to pick it up unless you're spending the money and the time and the testing to pick that up in the first place. So that's the first thing that makes the dōTERRA oils different and stand apart from other oils. And then the other thing, the second key thing, is how they are sourced. So this is the potency of the oil. So purity is the first thing, and potency is the other part. And by potency, I like to think of potency, it's not just the strength of the oil, but it's also the chemistry of the oil. So you could kind of liken this to if you're eating food grown locally to where you live. The quality of the food, the nutrients you're going to have, it's going to be just more nutrient dense because it's being grown in soil and climate where that food should be grown. So what dōTERRA do, which actually kind of, you would just think all companies do this, but actually I don't know of anybody else that does do this. They actually grow all the plants for all the oils, all across the world where those plants actually would naturally be found either indigenously or, you know, where they've been grown for hundreds or if not thousands of years. What dōTERRA, the reason they do this is because they understand that the chemistry, the therapeutic potential or ability to actually, you know, help our bodies and actually work really well is much better, stronger, more complex if the plants are grown where they would naturally be found. So you'll see there that lavender is grown in Bulgaria. You know, you've got, I can't actually see the screen very clearly. You've got, let's have a look. You've got mint that's grown in Washington State. So we're really kind of making sure that the plants are grown in the countries where they are going to thrive. And when the oil is then looked at under the microscope, there's lots of different phytochemicals, plant chemicals that make up any one oil. And the number of those plant chemicals found in any one oil, if it's being grown indigenously, and if it's been looked after in the climate with the conditions by the people that know how to, you're going to have a lot more plant chemicals in that particular oil than if it wasn't. You'd have a lot less. And the more plant chemicals you've got, each one does a slightly different thing. So that's why, for example, lavender, you know, we know that it does many different things. It's because each plant chemical within that lavender plant helps with something different. Okay. So this sort of links into what we've just been speaking about, but dōTERRA do something called co-impact sourcing. And what this is it's where they work with a global network of farmers and cooperatives. And I like to kind of think of it as it's a mutually kind of beneficial arrangement. About 2/3 of the countries where the plants are grown are in developing countries. And what dōTERRA are doing is they're kind of working directly with these people. In many cases, they really wouldn't have any other, you know, job prospects. So these people are getting, you know, they're creating livelihoods for themselves and their family that they might not otherwise be able to do through working with dōTERRA. But also for us, the customers, for the users, we're actually getting very good quality oils because the plants are being looked after by kind of artisans, by people that know and understand the plants and how to look after them. And, you know, these plants are actually being grown by biodynamic standards very often as well, because, you know, they're taking into consideration when the seeds are sown, how they're looked after, when they're harvested. They're even, you know, working with the moon very often, which is where the biodynamic farming principles come in. Okay, and then there is a charity. dōTERRA are all about giving back. So although they are actually the largest essential oil company in the world, and they've only been going for 9 years, so it's really, really incredible what they've achieved in that time. Although, you know, it is a very big company, the 7 founders are very heart-centered. They're very kind of kind, generous, humble people, and there's a lot of work that they do around kind of giving back, not just via this charity that they've set up, but in other ways as well. So the Healing Hands, there's 2 products currently that dōTERRA have available. One is called Hope Oil, and it's a beautiful blend. It's got bergamot, it's got vanilla, ylang-ylang and frankincense, and a base of coconut oil in a rollable. And there's also a rose hand lotion, because dōTERRA don't actually make rose oil to commercially sell, because rose is a flower petal, and actually it's not viable to be able to make you know, oil in you know, enough volume to make it commercially available. But they do put it in the rose hand lotion, and then they sell that, and 100% of the proceeds of both of these products actually goes to this charity, as well as donations. That's the other way that it's funded. Rose, there is a rose product coming out soon. Having said that, where what dōTERRA have decided to do is they've decided to make a rose touch product where they blend the oil with a coconut oil base, and then we'll be able to get that soon, which is pretty exciting. So there's a lot to, you can find out loads about this if this is something that means a lot to you. It means a lot to me, you know, to know that the company that I'm involved with are ethical and giving back. There, the Hope Oil that I mentioned earlier, there's one of the projects that they're sort of involved with is called Operation Underground Railroad, and it's a little bit of a sad story, but also it's kind of helping to kind of look at the child sex industry and help improve the situation there. So they're working in a few countries across the world. They partner with non-government organisations when they're looking for charities to work with. And this particular guy that they're working with, what they did is they created this Hope Oil. Initially, it was just to circulate to the children in some of the cities in the countries that they were working. And what they would do, these children wouldn't really be allowed belongings, but they would be allowed something that would make them smell nice. So these oils got handed out, but underneath the label of the oil was a helpline number that the children could call. So that was kind of one branch to this project. And then the other branch of the project was that there were kind of professionals working to they called them jumps, and to release the children and to save the children and to persecute the perpetrators. And over the last few years, you know, they've persecuted a couple of hundred perpetrators and saved several hundred children, and that work continues. Yeah, so. Okay, so essential oil uses. So we've kind of finished the background to the company and what an essential oil is. And before Kyla starts to talk a little bit about how they can be incorporated into yoga, there's three main ways that one might use an oil. So aromatically is really, it just means smelling the oil. So we have something at the back of our nose called an olfactory receptor. And in one synapse, an oil that we smell is in the brain, in an area called the amygdala in the limbic system, which is where we hold on to, where we process emotions, past emotions, many other things as well. But you can start to understand why diffusing an oil, so it might be in a cold mist diffuser. We use a cold mist one, so we're kind of maintaining the therapeutic properties of the oil. We could kind of put a drop of oil onto our hands and rub our hands together, cup our hands and inhale a few times. We might have some diffuser jewellery. I haven't got my necklace on today, but you can get pendants, you can get really lovely bracelets, and you rub the oil onto the bracelet, or you drop a little bit onto the felt pad of your necklace. And it's just a really lovely way to get the emotional benefits. So often you're smelling, taking oils this way for the emotional benefits, but also the physical benefits as well. So obviously in a yoga class or during meditation, aromatic use would be great. If you had a diffuser and you were teaching a class, then obviously everybody in the class is benefiting from the oil that you're diffusing. Also when you're meditating, it's lovely to have something going in the diffuser, something like balance or frankincense perhaps. And then topical use is when we're applying the oils directly to our skin. So if we want the oils to get into our body, into every cell of our body, the best place to do that is on the soles of our feet, because the pores are largest there. There's the least sebum, so there's the least resistance to the oils accessing the body. But we can also use the oils, you know, topically. We might be putting kind of some breathe on our chests or on our hands when we're kind of doing breathing exercises. Maybe we will put some frankincense or balance on our third eye. I'm sure Kyla's got lots of other ideas when she gets into the oils. And topical use, if we're using them outside of the yoga class, we might be using something on our skin, for dry skin or eczema or a cut or a burn or something like that. And then the last way we could use an oil is internal use. And this is something that is unique to dōTERRA. You really would only do this if you were 100% sure that you're using, therapeutic or medicinal oils that are 100% pure and that there's nothing else in there. But it's a wonderful option. You can take oils, you could have a drop of something internally. So you might, start your day with a drop of lemon in water, or if you're teaching a class, you could welcome people, with a citrus oil in water. But you could also take things, at home as a dietary supplement. So you might have a drop of On Guard or lemon if you had a cold in water. But you can also get some empty capsules. They're called veggie caps. They're really cheap. I think they're about £3 for 160. And you can actually drop the oil into a capsule if you were wanting to the oils to be released further down into the body. And then just a little bit of safety before I pass you over to Kyla. So the oils themselves, they are very pure. They are very safe as long as we're kind of using them in the right way. So I always recommend people that are getting the oils to get some kind of book or resource to go alongside, because then, you really can't go wrong if you're just following, the guidelines in whatever book you're using. But, always start with one drop and build up from there. That's also, good advice. And to check for skin sensitivity if anybody's using an oil for the very first time, potentially diluted in a little bit of carrier oil as well. And the books that we use, they also have a quick reference guide in the back where you can quickly and easily look up, do I need to dilute this oil? Because again, because the dōTERRA oils are very pure, sometimes you don't need to dilute them. Often I say, it's often a good idea to dilute them anyway, but there is an option not to if you either don't have time or you didn't want to. And the quick reference guide will very easily guide you through whether you need to for an adult or child, somebody that's sensitive or somebody that's pregnant or breastfeeding. What else? We have photosensitive oil for us all. If we just assume that all citrus oils are photosensitive, and what this actually means is that if we have the oils on our skin and we're in, very intense sunlight for a long time, then we may develop kind of burning. It's not such an issue in this country, apart from when we have intense sun. You would also want to avoid sunbeds though as well when you have citrus oils on the skin. There are a few hot oils which I'll just mention now. So you have oregano, you have cinnamon, you have clove, and you have peppermint for some people. And obviously these oils are in some of the blends. So all this means if we're using a hot oil is that we would always dilute them rather than using them neat. Some people tolerate peppermint okay, but the other ones I mentioned are ones that you would want to dilute, with oregano being the strongest. I think that's it. So I will pass you over now to Kyla.
Hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. I'm just getting the presentation back up.
So we're going to start with the mood management kit, are we?
I think so. That seems to be the order.
Yes. Yeah. Okay, guys. Let's get back one. Yeah. Oh, there we are. Okay. So the 4 oils that you guys see before you on the screen right now is what's called the mood management kit. And this kit is absolutely fabulous if you're going to be teaching a class or you're going to be doing yoga workshops, etc. So just starting with the first oil, Balance. So Balance is absolutely delicious. I mean, if you could smell it, you would just, there's something about Balance oil that's just really yummy and grounding. This is a really great oil to use to start off your yoga class by placing it either in the hands and getting your guests to rub their hands together and and diffuse it in their hands, or to place it on the bottom of their feet to just start the practice, because it does bring about a sense of grounding and balance. The next oil that's beside balance here is called Serenity. This oil is more for the end of the practice. So when you're looking at sort of Shavasana position, it's very, very relaxing and almost sleep-inducing. So I probably wouldn't recommend it at the beginning or mid-practice. It's definitely towards the end. My husband uses this one for sleep, and it's really great at sort of sedating and relaxing. So yeah, best not use it in mid-practice. Citrus.
Would it be
Go ahead, honey.
Read out what's in balance. Would that be nice?
Yeah. Do you have the?
I haven't
them
got
in front of you.
Yeah, I've got it in front of me. So it's got spruce, it's got cinnamon, it's got hoewood leaf, it's got frankincense, blue tansy, blue chamomile, and osmanthus. And Serenity, I bought a brand new Serenity.
Balance.
First sandal.
Really, you can see mine's almost done. Yeah, and I've got another bottle waiting me, so which is good. And then, did you want to share what was in Serenity?
Yes. Yeah, what I love about the balance is that it's full of tree and wood oils. So it's called the grounding blend. And I love that kind of, comparison that, it's really grounding and centering as are trees that go into making the oils.
Yeah, it's absolutely beautiful. When people smell it, there's something about it that they're just like, oh yeah, I want a liter of this. It's it's just gorgeous.
It's my favorite oil out of all of the stuff.
Oh really? Okay. Wow.
Yeah,
that's something.
Yeah.
The Serenity oil. Do you want to share what was in it?
I'll tell you the ones I can remember. So I can remember you've got lavender, chamomile, sandalwood, vetiver. That's as far as I can remember. There's a few others.
Is that juniper, hoewood, ylang ylang, marjoram, Roman chamomile, vetiver, vanilla, and Hawaiian sandalwood. So it's quite a special oil, isn't it? It's got some really beautiful oils, and the vetiver is the one that's really around being a sedative or being really relaxing, one that one would use before bedtime, or as said previously, for Shavasana.
Yeah, it's sweet, isn't it? It's like the smell of the lavender and the vanilla and really nice.
Okay, and then the next one is Citrus Bliss. So the only one I don't have is Elevation. So Citrus Bliss is one that I would recommend putting in the diffuser before the class starts. Why you would do this is because it's very uplifting. It's also very relaxing. It's very invigorating. It's also a blend that you could use at the beginning of your class. Placing a drop in everyone's hands and getting them to rub their hands together and diffuse it in their hands. That would be for more of an uplifting practice, maybe. One that you want to, that's going to awaken the senses rather than relax and ground. So Citrus Bliss, beautiful. It also purifies the air. Of impurities in the air, but also smells and fragrances. So that's a really beautiful one. And that one's got a series of citrus oils of wild orange, lemon, grapefruit, mandarin, bergamot, tangerine, clementine, and vanilla. So very, very delicious. So I think Sarah and I, we were like, can we eat this?
Yeah,
we were doing a raw chocolate class together, and we contacted dōTERRA to see if we could use this in our chocolate. And they said something about the vanilla, not being able to recommend the vanilla, but in essence, this should be edible. But they just said that they couldn't recommend using it internally, but it is an absolutely delicious one. Then we've got Elevation. So this is another one that you could use in a diffuser or in like diffusing in your hands at the beginning of the class, just to awaken, also to something that you could use after Shavasana. So you've got everyone relaxed. You maybe have done, you know, the serenity on the temples, or had them put it on their feet. And then, you know, after everyone comes out of Shavasana, you can have them, you know, use some elevation, putting a drop in their hands, rubbing their palms together and diffusing it to inhale. This is a really uplifting, it says joyful blend. I don't happen to have this with me. You have it, don't you, Sarah?
Yeah. Would you like me to read out what's in it?
That would be lovely, thank you.
Oh, okay, so you have something called lavendin, lavender, Hawaiian sandalwood, tangerine, melissa, which is the oil of light. It's a really, really expensive one.
Oh, yes.
But the most expensive. Elemi, osmanthus, and lemon myrtle. And I was going to add that in the I have the emotions book in front of me, so there's a really lovely book that many of us love, where you can, it doesn't really give details, it does give a lovely description on each oil. And joyful blend, which is elevation, it says that it's formulated to overcome feelings of despair and hopelessness, and the blend combines powerful mood stabilizing oils with joy-filled oils that evoke happiness. So this one's all about stabilizing the mood, bringing happiness, but there's also oils in here to help with energy as well. So just like Kyla said, you know, for that reason it would be a good one to offer at the end of the class, and the positive properties that it helps bring: brightness, joy, humour, elevated courage, cheerfulness, abundance, and a sunny disposition.
Yeah, so absolutely gorgeous. I cannot believe I don't have this set yet. I do have most of the set, but I was just thinking next month, so I'm going to buy the mood management kit, because I haven't had elevation. Yeah, it's gorgeous set, isn't it? I've been using plenty of balance. That seems to be a favorite of the clients and just myself. It's really gorgeous. So is there anything else you'd like me to say about this set before we go on to talking about others?
I guess I could just call out that the grounding blend, I might just read from the, or you can, but the positive properties that the grounding blend bring are body connection, stability, perseverance, self-contained, grounded, and inner strength.
You're reading from the
just from the emotions book, just from the,
okay.
the positive properties at the bottom. It's like, yeah, that, you can kind of see that some of that can relate to yoga practice as well.
Sure.
Yeah. And then serenity is called the restful blend, which is the oil of tranquility. So Kyla was sort of saying, you know, that's a lovely one to use in your savasana. So the positive qualities there are calm, tranquil, peaceful, relaxed, compassionate, and connected. So they're really the properties that you're going to want to have as you're doing your savasana.
And we've got citrus bliss, which is the oil of creativity and the invigorating blend, with positive properties of feeling invigorated, childlike, creative, motivated, cheerful, self-expressed, and spontaneous. And then we've already covered the elevation, haven't we?
Yeah.
Yeah, so really gorgeous set, and really great again for, you know, throughout your yoga class, your practice, and or any workshops that you're holding. It's really great little kit.
So
and then next, balance.
Thought we had these. Okay, I think I put these slides last time. Okay, so we talked about the book. I think I talked about that, haven't I, when I was talking about
you have, yeah. So
yeah, it brings us on to this one.
Okay. Well, I don't tend to use this kit really in my yoga classes, but it is a great one for, I think, client work. So if you're doing one-to-ones with yoga, or if you're doing, you know, counseling or therapy work, it's a really great set to use. We've got 6 different oils in this kit, and we'll start with passion, as it's nice and big there on the front page there. And so this one is a really great one in terms of creativity and invigorating passion. So it ignites feelings of excitement, passion, and joy. I just find a little bit more in the book.
This is a great one then as well if you're wanting to get things done. I mean, obviously motivate is a good one too, but passion, it's a creative blend. It can kind of get you fired up for projects, or if you're working with people like we did in your vision boards class that you did.
Kyla,
it was
it's a great one for that, isn't it? So the oil of creativity, it says invigorating blend acts as a powerful fire starter. It returns motivation and drive when it is lacking. This is a wonderful combination of oils for addressing lethargy, discouragement, despondency, or low will to live. Okay? When the soul has lost its connection to the magic in its life, this blend helps restore the spark. So positive properties, invigorated. Oh, this is not the oil. It's
inspiring blend. Which one is that?
The oil of creativity.
Okay, and it's the inspiring blend.
Yes. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
So this blend of spices and herbs is formulated to assist individuals who are lacking in inner passion. It is helpful for those caught in patterns of self-denial or regimentation. Overworking and being too serious can dull one's sensitivity and emotions. When individuals are burdened with a joyless sense of duty, inspiring blend encourages them to be more playful and spontaneous. It teaches that there is more to living than working and obligation. So it's a really beautiful oil, particularly for all of us who may or may not be working, really passionate about what we do, and maybe, pushing it a bit hard, or just so passionate about what we're doing and working really hard, and just reminding us to, come back and focus on being a bit more childlike and creative and free. So the positive properties: passionate, risk-taking, vitality, inspired, alive, playful, spontaneous, and creative. So going on to
okay. Okay, so there's only one. I think this is just an example of what we've got in the kit, as opposed to one per page.
Yeah, sure, that's fine. But we could still go over it, can't we?
Yeah, sure.
What is I can't see the words there, so what is the blend?
So you've got console. So console is, if you're looking it up in the emotions book, it's the comforting blend.
Okay, great. So the oil of consolation. And this blend of trees and flowers was formulated to assist individuals who are in need of emotional comfort. It soothes emotional pain after periods of extreme stress or trauma. A comforting blend assists individuals who are burdened by loss, grief, or tragedy. When past emotional hurts resurface, comforting blend can assist in releasing these emotional burdens. So positive properties: comforted, contented, restful, whole, and serene. So again, probably more appropriate for one-to-one work than group work, because this sounds like it's more of a one-on-one kind of focused oil. Do you use this in your practice there?
Practice, I do use it. It's kind of when you need to give yourself a great big hug, it is the comforting. It's very comforting to smell it and use it. It helps to kind of bring peace and the feeling that everything's okay. Everything's okay. I'll just read what oil. Go on.
So I suppose if you've had a really deep working Kriya or asana, group of practice, that it might be useful to use this at the end if there was a lot of emotion or tears that have come up for you, or there was a big release, an emotional release.
Definitely, yeah, I'd agree with that. I'll just read out what's in it. So you've got frankincense, patchouli, ylang-ylang, labdanum, amiris, sandalwood, rose, and osmanthus. So kind of quite a lot of floral oils. So the way that the aromatherapy system works is it's set up to take in, each oil is across 2 groups of plants. So the passion that we just spoke about is across the spices and the herbs and grasses, and they're kind of combining 2 groups of plants into one blend, so that, because broadly speaking, each group offers us different types of benefits. So the passion is across the herbs and grasses and spices, whereas the console is across the florals and the tree oils. And then we can come on to peace next, which is the reassuring blend. And that is the next one around the dial from console. So it blends florals together with mints. Did you want to have a little read from there?
Yeah. So all people thrive when they feel connected to the divine. Souls achieve true and lasting peace, connection to this source. Without this true peace, there is a human tendency to try to manufacture peace by controlling one's environment and relationship, especially when one feels afraid. It is tempting to try to control others because it gives an artificial sense of order and safety. The positive properties is peaceful, serene, content, and still. So this one I could see being one that you could use generally in a class. Absolutely, particularly a yoga class, it would be great.
Yeah, I use peace, and I know others do too. It's very good for either reducing anxiety or calming, but also people use it for sleep as well, because it's got the vetiver in it that we were talking about in the serenity earlier as well. Okay, we can move around the wheel if you like. Peace was florals and mints. Motivate, which is the encouraging blend, is across the mints and the citrus.
So this blend of mints and citrus oils was formulated for those who need motivation and encouragement. It assists individuals whose will is stagnated and needs to be fired into action again. The encouraging blend fosters confidence to follow through with one's creative inspirations and intentions. It also imbues a warrior-like spirit and strengthens one to face adversities and challenges. So I would see this kind of, it's a really great one, but again, I see this working more so in one-to-one work, but also probably if you're holding a Kundalini yoga class when you really need to keep focused and keep going and coming across your threshold, I guess, and pushing and keep going and staying with the practice. But yeah, a lovely oil that you could also use with a group diffusing, but yeah, really powerful to use in one-to-one.
It's got peppermint, clementine, coriander, basil, yuzu, melissa, rosemary, and vanilla.
And the positive properties are motivated, encouraged, hopeful, energized, and confident.
Beautiful. And it's also just one that's great for getting things done. So I don't know if it would be good. Would it be good in a flow class, do you think? Or
what would that?
In a kind of a flow yoga class? Motivate?
Quite possibly, yeah, like a moving, like a more vinyasa, ashtanga.
Nice. Okay, and then around the wheel again. So motivate was mints and citrus, whereas cheer, which is the uplifting blend, is citrus and spices. I like this one. I use this one a lot, and this one's actually 10% off at the moment for the rest of the month in a rollerball form mixed with coconut oil. I'll just read out what's in it. So you've got wild orange, clove, star anise, lemon myrtle, one that I don't know, it looks like dravettes, nutmeg, vanilla, ginger, and cinnamon bark.
Mm-hmm. So this is probably a really nice one for pregnancy yoga classes as well, because of the ginger, which is nice just to kind of stabilize mamas that might feel a bit nauseous. The oil of cheer. So this blend of citrus and spices was formulated to assist individuals who are in need of cheerfulness. It is especially helpful for individuals who feel heavy-hearted or who have been weighted down by many challenges in life. Encountering repeated trials over an extended period of time can have a crippling effect and may even create an expectation of permanent suffering with no hope of relief. So the positive properties are hopeful, comforted, faithful, cheerful, uplifted, joyful, and determined. So also I can see these being, really great for the last trimester, for mamas, just to kind of feel, like they're on track. Also probably quite nice for diffusing if you're a birth doula, or you're supporting mamas during that time. So that one actually probably quite nice for mamas throughout all the trimesters. Yeah.
Nice, thanks. And then we've already covered passion, which is spices and herbs and grasses. So the last one in the emotional aromatherapy kit would be Forgive, which is the renewing blend. And the renewing blend, we've got spruce, bergamot, juniper berry, myrrh, arbor vitae, nuptia tree, thyme, and citronella. This is another one that I use. If you've had like an argument with someone, or you need to kind of forgive somebody else or yourself, this is a really nice one to use. It's also recommended if you're just using them for emotional support as opposed to yoga, that you use things like Forgive and Console at night before you go to bed, which makes a lot of sense to me, because it's sort of the letting go and the releasing can happen while you're asleep, and then you can use the happy ones by day.
Great. So it says, it is well understood that forgiving others actually sets us free. This blend is especially helpful when individuals feel cynical or begin to expect the worst from the other people. Instead of looking for the good in others, they may view others in a negative light. They may also have a tendency to feel justified in blaming others for their own personal situations or misfortunes. Renewing Blend teaches us that everyone is learning and growing together. Mistakes and offenses will certainly happen, but should be met with forgiveness and kindness. The positive properties is forgiving, light, free, loving, understanding, and tolerant. So again, like I personally see these oils working more on a one-to-one basis when you're doing clients, but they can be used also for diffusing during classes. But for classes, generally, I would probably recommend Motivate and Cheer, and possibly Peace, but Forgive and Console definitely more so for individual sessions. Okay, so we're moving on to chakras, I can see. Is that correct, Sarah? Yeah, we're meant to be here. Okay. So as you can see, we've got the mood management kit there. So the crown chakra, so this will be helpful to activate and open using essential oils. We've got elevation there to use on your crown chakra, so that's on the top of your head. Most of you will know this. Then we've got the third eye chakra, which is the point between the eyebrows, and it's recommending that serenity is used at that point. Then moving down to your throat chakra, it's recommending that you use the Whisper oil, which is a woman's blend, and it's absolutely gorgeous as well. Then down to the heart chakra, it's recommending using Breathe. I myself use this also on my throat chakra because it opens up the airways, and I also find it when I'm struggling or I'm feeling grief in my throat or on my chest, I just put it on both my throat and on my chest to open up what's going on for me there. So solar plexus, it's recommending digesten. This is a metabolizing blend, and this not only metabolizes on a physical level, but it also metabolizes on an energetic level. So things that people are struggling with to digest on an emotional level, this is really great. So this is at the solar plexus. And then we've got the third oil there from the mood management kit, Citrus Bliss. And this is on the lower abdomen. And this is the center, of course, of creativity, inner child, and sexuality. And then the fourth mood management oil blend that's present here is the balance oil. So Sarah and I's, one of our favorite blends is balance, and that's at the root coccyx area of the body. And so what you could do is place them on these different centers just to help open and stimulate these areas. But also, if you're working on doing particular areas during a class, like for instance, in Kundalini Yoga, we have Kriyas. And when we do Kriyas, they have an intention. So Kriya is like a set of postures with intention. And so you might be working on one particular chakra at a time. So that was one that you could use, diffuse in your hands and use it. You can use it in a diffuser, or you could also apply it to the bottom of the feet, which will also help open and stimulate the different chakra centers. Looks like we've moved on to the family physicians kit here below. So this is the third kit we'll be looking at today in terms of yoga practice. And the oils that I would definitely recommend from this kit in terms of your yoga practice. So we've just discussed breathe. So this one here. So breathe, it opens up the airways. It's also really good if there's any infections or anything to do with the chest or the throat, but also at looking at healing grief, which is a really beautiful, it's actually one of my favorite blends to use. I wouldn't say it's my favorite fragrance, but it's definitely one of my favorite oils. It's definitely in my first aid kit that I take everywhere I go. Then I would say peppermint. I think, did I bring my peppermint out? I didn't bring my peppermint out, but I've got my spearmint here. But peppermint in the kit as well, it's for opening up the airways. So very good to use breathe or peppermint for pranayama. So any pranayama work, because again, it's going to open up the airways and just create space there. Then we've got frankincense, one of my favorites. I bring my frankincense, I did. So frankincense, so this one's really great for using for meditation. So using a little bit of frankincense on your finger and just placing it on your third eye, that will help with focus. It also creates a sense of sacredness. And also there's something inside frankincense that has, I think it's sesquiterpenes, is that right, Sarah? You've got a nod there of approval, which means that it will pass through the blood-brain barrier. So it goes right into the mind, calming the mind and adding focus on the third eye.
It's the oil of truth in the emotions.
Yes.
It's been used
and
for a long time, thousands of years.
Definitely one of my favorite single oils. This is also one I wouldn't leave the country without, which is why I have it in Bali with me. Then, what's that?
Frankincense is in balance as well.
Ah.
So, yeah.
Yes. And in terms of focus, we've got lemon here. So lemon's another one of those ones I wouldn't leave without. This is definitely in my little first aid kit, my little pouch. And this one's really great for focus. So you can use this for meditation as well. But I use these in the water. So it's really purifying. Oh my God, there's a big frog. It's hopping through my little front room here. So I'm in Bali, guys. So this is quite an experience for me. So yes, I've got lemon. It's really great for the waters. So when your students come in, or if you're going to start your practice or starting your morning, it's lovely to put a drop or two of that in your water before you start. And as I said, it also helps with focus and grounding. Then we've got, what do we have there that I haven't mentioned? So we've got lavender. So lavender is really great for, oh, I thought it looked like Bali. It is Bali. So yeah, lavender would be really good for Shavasana, because as you know, lavender is commonly used for sleep or placing on your pillow. I have lavender pillows that I have for relaxation for my students, and also for my own practice. So that's a really great one for relaxation. Then we've got Melaleuca there. So Melaleuca and lavender can be used as a mat cleaner. So you could put a couple drops of Melaleuca in like a little spray bottle, as well as a couple drops of lavender. So this is a really nice mat cleaner. You know, also for your mamas, you want to make sure the mats are clean, particularly if they're bringing their new babies in for the mum and baby yoga. Want to make sure that's, you know, clear of any bacteria or viruses, which brings me on to On Guard. One of my favorite, why did I bring that out with me? I didn't bring it to this class with me, but I do have it in my room. On Guard is absolutely fantastic. Definitely use this as a mat cleaner. Really great because it cleans and clears bacteria and viruses, particularly airborne bacteria and viruses. So if you're using it in a diffuser, say in your classes towards autumn, winter, this will also help kill any flu viruses or bacteria. It actually removes the MRSA virus, or kills the MRSA virus in 5 minutes. So, you know, with mamas as well, particularly pregnant mamas, you want to make sure that they're, you know, staying away from viruses and bacteria, just so that they can maintain a healthy pregnancy. But this is also great immune booster. So you could also recommend during the winter classes that you have teaching or your own practice to place it on the bottom of your feet. Because when you place the oils on the bottom of your feet, as Sarah described earlier, it's within the bloodstream within 20 minutes. So it's in the bloodstream within 2 to 5 minutes, and in every cell of your body within 20 minutes. So it's really great at giving you an immune boost. Sarah, I will need the kit back, please, sweet.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. So there you go.
Okay, great. So the one I think I have missed here is the deep blue and also oregano. So deep blue is an amazing oil. I love using it, particularly in cream form, but it's also really useful in oil form. And this is to be used before and after exercise. It's really good at relieving tension, aches and pains, and sometimes joint pains. The capsules are particularly useful for joint pains. And then we've got oregano. In terms of yoga, I can't really think of how it would be useful, but it's got a similar properties as Melaleuca, so that's tea tree oil, antiviral, antifungal, antiseptic, it's anti-everything, and it's also anti-parasitic. So I will definitely be using the oregano oil after my trip from Bali, just to make sure my tummy is okay. But in terms of your practice, I can't really say how you can use it, maybe unless you want to pop a drop in your spray bottle. But this is nature's antibiotic, so it's about 6 times stronger than penicillin. And this is definitely one for your medicine cabinet, guys. It's, you know, really strong natural antibiotic that actually gets right into your cells in a way that not natural, but Western medicine antibiotics cannot reach. So this is an incredible oil, but within a practice, I can't really say. It's not particularly wonderful smelling, but it tastes nice if you add it in your hummus. If you're going to use it before a class, you want to have a little bit of hummus, about an hour so before your class, or an hour or so after. But yeah, that's all I can say about that. Is there anything I missed in terms of the kit, Sarah, and practice that you can think of?
Nothing you missed. I just looked up oregano in the emotions book just out of interest. And
Go
it's
on.
the oil of humility and non-attachment. It says
Mm-hmm.
that oregano cuts through the fluff of life and teaches individuals to do the same. It removes blocks, clears negativity, and cuts away negative attachments. Oregano is a powerful oil and may even be described as forceful or intense. It addresses a person's need to be right. The individual need of oregano may attempt to convert other people to their own fixed opinions. Their strong will can make them unteachable and unwilling to budge. It goes on, but the positive properties are humility, non-attachment, teachable, flexible, willingness to be wrong, and devoted.
So it sounds like it does fit into the practice, but yeah, it's not, you guys, it's not a particularly pretty smelling oil. It's very intense, and you literally do not need any more than one drop. It's very powerful, very potent, and if you can find a way to put it into your practice in some way, please let me know. I'd love to hear what you come up with, because it does sound like a beautiful oil and a wonderful complement to a class or to your own practice in particular.
I quite like your hummus idea, Kyla.
Yeah, it tastes amazing in hummus, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, other than using it for anti-parasitic in a capsule, or, you know, I yeah, not too sure, or for as an antibiotic. Yeah, I don't commonly use it for my yoga. Okay, so meditation here. So Sarah's got a slide here that's recommending it for your meditation practice. So it's recommending tangerine, sandalwood, frankincense, myrrh, and vetiver. So my favorite out of this would probably be frankincense and sandalwood. And it's saying here, gently blend and then put 6 to 9 drops into your diffuser. So I think it would be a shame to put frankincense into diffuser, just because it is such a dear oil, like in price, that I would want to be using this directly on my skin, placing it on my third eye, or placing it on the bottom of my feet, or even applying it to my body beforehand, because frankincense is the oil that reminds your cells how to be perfect again. So it's a beauty oil, it's a healing oil, and yeah, quite dear, so I wouldn't want to waste a drop of it. Yeah, would you like to say anything in terms of that slide, Sarah?
No, that's great.
So it's getting a bit darker here. I think sun.
Yeah.
I don't know if you can see the sun. You can't really see it. It just looks like light. But yeah, the sun's starting to set here. Okay, and yes, this is a great book. So all you yoga teachers here listening, the Essential Yoga Program book is fantastic. It gives you like descriptions on how and when to use your oils throughout the practice. It also gives you like a selection to use and what exercises to use it in. And so this is really fabulous for any workshops that you're holding and any classes that you're creating with your students. And ladies, this will definitely be one that I will be recommending to Claire. So if you happen to get it before she does, then yeah, please pass this information along. What do we got next, Sarah?
I'm just waiting for my little computer to catch up.
Okay. Is there any questions that we can answer while we're... I love Whisper. I totally get that. I love using it as a perfume. And actually, I combine Whisper with clary sage in a diffuser, and it puts off like such a sexy aroma. I absolutely love it. I don't know what it is about it. And maybe just be smell. Like we do have preferences in terms of smell. But Whisper and clary sage together for some reason just does it for me. Also, many people have said that they love my perfume that I'm wearing. And it has been Whisper. So it's a gorgeous one, and it's a women's blend. So very helpful and useful around women's cycles. what do we have here? Kyla, it looked like barley. Yep. Okay. Frankincense and cilantro are great for placing on the roof of your mouth. Of course, yes. Berry to help detox heavy metals out of the brain. Okay, so no questions, just comments. So we're on our next slide, Sarah?
Yes, just some snaps. So we're getting towards the end now of the presentation.
Okay.
This might be the last
So
one.
I probably won't say too much about this, although if you guys want to note this as you're viewing this. So this is a recipe that's been placed here for a lavender lemonade. And then I guess that's an inspiring image to make date energy balls. Missing a recipe for that. But yeah, it's just showing here really that you can start using, the oils in food. So a date ball recipe, let's just come up with something right now, Sarah. So dates, you could add in maybe like an almond meal. You could add in coconut. You can add a little bit of cacao. It looks like there's some cacao in there. You could add cashews, goji berries, mulberries. What else you could put in there?
Date the dates. Or
of course, dates, yeah. And then I guess hemp seeds. Really what the dates are going to do is bind and stick things together. So as long as you use...
Have we lost Kyla for a minute? Can you guys still hear me? Hello? Not sure if anyone can hear me. I think Kyla we may have just lost.
Hi, I can still hear you.
Oh, thank you.
I think everybody else got theirs on mute. So
I think Kyla's connection may have just dropped off for a minute, so I'm sure she'll come back on. But yeah, I mean, energy balls, the simplest recipe is just kind of equal amounts of nuts and dried fruit. Break the nuts down in a food processor first, and then add the dried fruit, and you can add cacao and obviously the essential oils.
Yeah, that's interesting because I've been doing the energy balls, one for myself and one for the students. So when I take it to the postnatal classes, because some of the mums are a little bit depleted, don't really eat very well, so that's interesting.
Yeah, that's a good point actually. Yeah, and then obviously the essential oils are going to kind of take it to the next level.
Yeah.
So Kyla's...
I liked that actually. You've just flipped onto mat cleaning. I liked that because it's one of my bugbears when you go into studio and the mats smell.
Yeah, me too. As a student, when you kind of go down into a position where you've got your kind of nose on the floor, and you just got this kind of, I don't know, musty smell or whatever it might be. So there's quite a few recipes. You can just Google dōTERRA mat cleaning recipe and click on images.
Yeah.
You'll get lots of recipes, but Kyla obviously gave you one with lavender and melaleuca, which is tea tree. The space clearing oils and the personal protection. So On Guard, which Kyla mentioned earlier, On Guard is wild orange, and it's got clove and cinnamon and rosemary and eucalyptus, I believe, or lemon. And energetically and emotionally, it also kind of provides protection. So for people that are teachers or people that are maybe very empathic or easily take on other people's energies or emotions, then you can use something like On Guard in your space to kind of protect you as the teacher or the practitioner. So On Guard would be a good one for space clearing and personal protection. Lemon is quite good as well. So I imagine there's a few others as well.
Yeah, Claire actually brought quite a lot of the oils to the class, to the workshop that we did, or retreat. And it was nice to have a smell and a sense of what they all are. Because I've come across the products before, because there's a few other teachers that use them.
Right, yeah.
But it's nice to just get a bit more information, I guess, about them.
Yeah, exactly. It's kind of it's nice to sort of understand as well what makes the oils different, because everyone kind of knows that, or many people kind of know that they're supposed to be different and better and special, but they don't necessarily know why. So it's quite nice to be able to come to a class like this and actually have us have the opportunity to explain that. So, yeah.
I've just seen Paris wrote a comment saying black bean brownies with peppermint. That sounds good.
Yeah, I think that might even be Paris. Is that actually in the Modern Essentials book, one of the resources? So I've seen that recipe before. But welcome back, Kyla.
Hi.
Hello.
Yeah. Sorry.
That's fine. You dropped off for a minute.
Yes, I did.
Yeah.
So sorry about that, guys. I was in the middle of telling you about this lovely, delicious recipe, and I dropped off. Sarah, did you complete that for me?
I did. Yes, we've
Thank
looked at the
you.
last slide. That's all right. And yeah, we're just having a little chat now. Were there any other questions at all before I was going to explain to people how they can get the oils if anybody was wanting to try some?
No, that's fine. I'm going to put mine back on mute so you can carry on talking.
Okay, cool. Thanks, Ayla. Okay, so I'm just trying to load up, as you guys may have noticed, my computer's just a tiny bit slow today for some reason, so I'm just trying to load up. Kyla, do you happen to have an enrolment form that you could load up and share easily?
I don't have one that I can upload easily. I have one that I could share on Facebook, if you like.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's sort of happening. It just might take me a minute or two, but okay, I think it's all right, actually. It's coming.
Did you want to just talk about the kits as we're waiting for it to upload?
Yeah, exactly, yeah. So would you like to do that, just because I think I'm going to have trouble trying to talk and explain at the same, trying to find the document and talk at the same time?
Yeah. So I'm just going to put it up here on my phone, so I'm saying accurate information. So one of the first kits, the one that we talked about initially, was the mood management kit. That kit comes at a price of $124.20, and that includes the enrollment. Okay, so there's different ways in which you can buy the oils. So just backing up there a little bit, jumping ahead. You can buy them retail price. However, retail price is 25% more than the wholesale price. So most people buy their oils wholesale. And in order to do that, we have what's called sort of like, it's similar to a Costco card or membership, where you enroll with a membership fee of, I think it's £24 it says here, but I think with tax and everything it comes to about 28, and that entitles you to 25% off the oils for a full year. So that includes any of the kits. It includes the single oils, blends, like lifestyle products like hand washes, cleaners, diffusers, all sorts of things, and it's a really fabulous opportunity. However, you do get the enrollments included in these sets here, which also makes it much more affordable. So the mood management kit includes the enrollment fee, and you get the 4 oils, 15 mils, and the 15 ml bottles have 250 drops of oil in it, whereas the 5 ml bottles have 85 drops of oil. So you do tend to get a little bit more for your money with the larger bottles. Standard bottles that you buy on the high street are generally about 10 mil. So dōTERRA do one on either side of the standard oil that sell in the stores. And the mood management kit has balance. It has serenity. It has citrus bliss, and it also has elevation. So those are the ones that you would pretty much need to hold a class. They're really diverse, and you can use it throughout your class, personal practice, or workshops or retreats that you're running. Then we touched on the emotional aromatherapy kit. Again, you know, you guys, if you're really inspired by the oils and you just want to get started, I would definitely get the mood management kit or the next kit I'm going to tell you about. I myself do not use the emotional aromatherapy kit in my classes so much or my personal practice, but they are great, you know, if you are doing your one-to-one sessions, or if you're wanting just to diffuse more than use the oils topically or internally. So that kit, the emotional aromatherapy kit, which includes the enrollment fee, is $159.60. So that includes 6 bottles of 5 ml essential oil bottles, and that includes motivate, cheer, passion, forgive, console, and peace. So remembering that the bottles, the 5 ml bottles, only have 85 drops in them, and also this kit comes with a complimentary or free diffuser, pedal diffuser, which is a cold mist diffuser. So similar to like raw food, the diffuser does not overheat the oils and kill the healing and nutritional benefits that the oils have. Then lastly, we've got the family physician kit. Sarah, have you been able to locate that document yet?
I'm still going, hon.
Okay. And this one is the last kit that we discussed, and this one has the lavender, the lemon, peppermint, melaleuca, oregano, frankincense, deep blue, breathe, digestion, on guard, and then an additional bottle of smart and sassy. So smart and sassy we didn't talk about, but essentially that is a metabolizing blend, and it also helps curb sugar cravings and appetite. So it's more of a detoxing or cleansing or weight loss oil, but quite nice for us ladies who are conscious of our figures. Not that we need to be, but when we are, it's a great oil for that. And the first kit that you can see here, the family physician kit, this is $114.60, but actually it is $115.20 with tax. This kit, you know, not only can you use all of these oils for your class, they also take care of over 300 ailments that you might have. So there's a series and a range of ailments that you or maybe your clients have. You can use most of these oils, all but 2 of these oils internally. You can use them topically, and you can obviously diffuse all of these oils. It's a very versatile kit. So for your first kit, I would either go for this one or the mood management kit if you're wanting to start off. This is essentially your nature medicine cabinet. You know, you can do over 300 things with this, so that's fabulous. If you're looking to you know, do this as a business, or you're thinking that you're going to use this ever such a lot in your practice or with your clients, I would go for the second option, because essentially you get 3 times the oils for twice the price. And these oils, so the top kit, family physician kit, comes in the 5 ml bottle, so you're getting 85 drops per bottle. And then the kit just below, Sarah, if you can just scroll, I'm not getting it for some reason. There we are. The Home Essentials kit, although a bit more dear, you do get greater savings on the long run. So it's $226.20, but you do get, you know, the complimentary diffuser, the pedal diffuser, the cold mist diffuser. You get 15 ml sizes of the frankincense, lavender, lemon, peppermint, melaleuca, oregano, breathe, digestion, on guard, deep blue. And the deep blue comes in a 5 ml bottle, and it always comes in a 5 ml bottle. And this is simply because it's very dear. And so it wouldn't be advantageous for doTERRA to sell it in a larger bottle, because it would kind of price itself out. So it comes in a 5 ml bottle. Yeah, so when I started out, knowing I was going to use it with my clients and I was going to use it in my own practice, I went with the Home Essentials kit to start, and then I moved into other kits and other oils. So if you are thinking of doing it as a business, I would definitely recommend the Home Essentials kit there. Have you moved down a little bit for a reason, Sarah? Would you like to add anything?
Just to show people the mood management kit that you spoke about at the beginning. It's just we didn't have that up on the screen. The mood management kit isn't a true enrollment kit, so we have added on the £28 that Kyla mentioned earlier.
The
So,
enrollment.
yeah, the Home Essentials kit. The other kits are better value to start with, and then I normally suggest that people add on the mood management kit later. But having said that, you know, because the mood management kit is one of the key kits for yoga, you know, you may just know that you want that one, and that might be the one that you decide to go for first.
And also too, you know, in terms of yoga guys, we have some really exciting kits coming out, one particularly for yoga. And do you know when it's launching, Sarah?
It'll be a few months until we get it in the UK. I don't know exactly, but yeah.
Yeah, so it's something that was just mentioned in convention recently, and it's a very delicious looking kit that I know that all of us yoga teachers and probably people who have their own practice are really keen to get themselves. I'm sure, Sarah, you are as well.
Yeah,
I think it's got jasmine, rose, touch oils. I think it's got neroli as well. It's got neroli in it, and then a series of other oils as well. So it's absolutely delicious.
yeah. It's going to be a yoga box as well, a trio of oils for yoga. Yeah.
Santa might get it for me, says Natalie.
Okay.
Hopefully Santa gets it for all of us, Natalie.
Yes, that would be amazing. Okay.
Yeah, and Sarah, any Christmas gifts you're thinking about for me, you could always hint, hint.
Maybe we can get on cover.
Yeah, surprise.
Okay, so I'm just going to share something else that I just wanted to talk through. An offer that's on at the moment.
Okay.
So.
That doesn't look like the offer.
Yeah, I've just gone back to the presentation, and I'm just going to go on to the next slide. I'm hoping, yeah, there we go. So I just put this slide in because September really, honestly, is a brilliant time to get started because the oils are already discounted for people that are getting them as part of a kit. So this month, so we've got about a week left of this month. So anybody enrolling, which means a new customer getting started, if they're spending over 100 points, then anybody spending over 100 points will get this free On Guard touch. So we've spoken about the On Guard oil. It's the protective immune oil. And this oil is the touch oil. So it's pre-mixed with coconut carrier oil, and it's put in a rollable bottle. That's a good one for kind of taking out and about or being pre-blended, ready to go to put on you or your family's feet, you know, or even you know, the mamas that Kyla was talking about in class, they could have some to help protect their immune system. So that one would cost £16.80, and any of the kits that Kyla's just talked you through would qualify for getting this. And then in addition to this, if you spend over 200 points, which would be the Home Essentials kit, so the kit of 10 core oils in the larger size, you would also be able to get the balance oil that obviously we've talked about quite a lot as we've gone through this evening's or this morning's class, depending on where you are in the world. So the grounding blend is also, it costs over £20 to buy this with a wholesale account. So for anyone getting a kit that's 200 points or more, then you would get these two together. So you're getting £37.80 worth of free products. Hey?
You get both of them?
Yes.
Oh my goodness. No.
Yeah, you do. Amazing, eh? So £40 worth of new products for spending 200 points, which is about 180 quid. Mm-hmm. So,
and that would be perfect if people were already thinking about getting like the Home Essentials kit, like the larger kit, right?
Exactly. I mean, you could get the emotions kit, guys, the emotional aromatherapy kit. You could get that and maybe add on a couple of things, you know, to take you up to the 200 points. And if you wanted to get these oils for free, that's of course another option. And then if this wasn't good enough, there's also another offer on at the moment, which, again, anybody starting out this month, this does say August and September, but the offer has just been extended into September and October. So anybody signing up this month with, again, any of those kits, because they're all 100 points or more that we've mentioned, and then doing an order next month, so actually next month is October, and placing an order for around 100 points, so that's about 80 to 85 pounds, depending on what you buy, then you will get this trio, this fantastic trio of supplements together, known as the Lifelong Vitality Pack. And you'll see there, they're worth £72. That's how much I paid for them. They're doTERRA's best-selling product. So although doTERRA are known for their amazing oils, these 3 supplements together, the Lifelong Vitality Pack, is their bestseller. I feel amazing on this. I notice the difference when I don't take them. They're designed to work on 4 things, and I'll just let you know what they are. They're pain, immunity, mood, and sleep. And doTERRA have actually conducted trials to, basically prove that they do work and that they do help. And they offer a 30-day money-back guarantee. Just really briefly, just say the first one is vitamins and minerals with 9 essential oils, food-based, so your body knows what to do with the nutrients. And there's some very clever science that goes into making them very kind of available to the body as well. The XE Omega, that's an essential oil and essential fatty acid omega complex. So that's got your fish oils in it, and again 9 essential essential oils. There is a vegan oil available, but it's not being offered as part of this particular offer, unfortunately. But maybe if you are vegan and you're interested in this, you could always give the essential fats to somebody else that you know, if that was an option for you. And then
I was just going to say that if people are wanting to take advantage of this offer, maybe it would be good to get either the mood management kit to start, or the family physician kit to start, and then get the other one the next month. And that way they will also get the free extra product, and they would also then be entitled to get this with their second order next month, right? So.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it's always better with doTERRA to kind of spread your wish list out, and doTERRA actually reward you, and there's ways of getting free products over time by doing that. So we explain more about that in your wellness session, which I'll explain in a minute, or maybe I'll get you to kind of. So the last product is the Alpha CRS Plus. And there's 2 groups of nutrients within this to look at 2 slightly different things. So there is cellular health in terms of, as we're aging, we need to look after our cells. So oxidative stress, free radicals, you may have heard some of these bandied around, these terms bandied around, but you're getting things to, lots of antioxidants to look after your cells. But then there's also nutrients in here to look after your cellular energy. So there is a completely separate product that is also more targeted to looking at energy, but there are energy nutrients in this product as well.
Can you please replug that in?
So there's lots of opportunity to get incredible value for money for people that are getting started this month. And the last thing I guess to say is just to explain the ongoing support and the wellness session that people get that do get started with a kit. Would you like to explain that, Kyla?
Yeah. So when you guys buy any of the below kits, Sarah, if you can just put it back onto the previous slide. When you purchase any of the... Sorry, go ahead.
Sorry, did you mean the previous slide or the enrollment?
With the kit, with the kits and the enrollment fee.
Sure, yeah, it's coming.
Okay.
Oh, wrong one.
When you guys,
the one with the I've got 2 open, and that was the one with the more kind of health kits. Okay, this should be it. Okay.
So when you guys join or enroll with any of these kits here below. What's included as well is a 45 minute to an hour wellness consultation, where Sarah or I or Claire or whoever is introduced you to the oils or has invited you to this class tonight, will go through a wellness consultation, which will go through the kit that you got. It will also include, anything that you want to look at in terms of yourself personally, whether it's, what oils and do I use for my class, and when do I use them for my class? Or if it's like, I've got this ailment, how do I use the oils to help me with this ailment, or my lifestyle that I want to have in terms of integrating and incorporating the oils. Also, they'll walk you through your account they'll tell you about LRP, our loyalty rewards program, which is the other way that Sarah was saying you can get free oils. Also, they may discuss with you about the business if that's something that you're interested in. Anything else, Sarah, that I've missed?
I think so, just the Facebook groups maybe.
Yeah, and so there is uber amounts of support, you guys. Both Sarah and I have WhatsApp groups. We also have Facebook groups that Claire has access to, Yana and Claire. So, there's loads of information on there to help you get started with your oils. There's recipes, there's information, there's resources. There's really infinite amounts of support out there in terms of our tribe, Sarah and I and Claire and Ayla, who is also on here as well. So you have loads of support through WhatsApp groups, through Facebook groups. Sarah and I and others organize team meetings, wellness days. There's conventions like the international conventions. There's also national conventions. So there's so much support out there. So if you're thinking about becoming a customer or doing the business, you'll never be wanting or needing for support, as it's there, in infinite amounts. So we're all, it's kind of like we're kind of like a wellness tribe, aren't we, Sarah? And mainly we're a group of women. So it's like a kind of a tribe of women. But we do have men as well that are joining us, particularly when their partners are doing so well. A lot of the men have been quitting their sort of day jobs and joining their partners in the business. So we do have some men in the business as well.
Yeah, and then there's also the last thing is we call it continued learning, but there's quite a lot of kind of online classes that are done that either you can watch live or get the recordings of. So they're kind of more aimed at people that have already got the oil. So they're a different format to this, but they're really nice to, they'll be on different subjects like, women's health or cooking or detoxification or cleaning. They're really nice, and you get access to those for free as well if you have an account.
I also forgot to say that we have our regular Tuesday morning classes, Sarah. So they're live classes that touch on, additional learning. I think we recently did, or you recently did one, Sarah, didn't you, on pets, aromatherapy and pets. This one's on yoga, meditation, and pranayama. We also do women's health. We do cleaning with essential oils, nutrition with essential oils, pregnancy, birth, and beyond with essential oils. Loads of different classes. So you also have that support as well. And that's every Tuesday from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m., 12:30 p.m. at 6 in Hove. It's a lovely juice bar, cafe, restaurant space that has really delicious drinks and food. So you can have, you can nurture yourself while you come to a class and learn more.
Well, thanks, Val. So that kind of brings us to the end of the class itself. If anybody did want to try some oils, then what they would do is we will send this enrollment form to you, whoever invited you to the class. We'll send it to you, and you would just complete it and return it. Easiest, quickest way is probably just to take a photo of it, but whatever way suits you. Or you could, we could do your order over the phone, and we would just, verbally take these details from you. We would do your first order. You'd get your oils within 2 to 3 days normally, and then after that, the account is yours, and you can kind of use it as you wish. I'll probably just ask if there's any more questions in a second, and then what we normally do at the end is for anybody that would like to stay on, there is a business opportunity with dōTERRA. If you have enjoyed the class, and normally there's kind of 2 or 3 different types of people that attend. Some people just love the oils and know they just want to go home and use them. other people can see the benefit. They want the oils, but they're also keen to share them with others and just tell people about them, and host a class, for example, or send people to Kyla or myself or whoever invited you to the class. And dōTERRA actually kind of compensate people that do that. So that's the second kind of person. And then the third kind of person loves the oils and wants to use them, but also is really passionate about teaching and sharing and doing what Kyla and I have done this evening. So what we're going to do in a couple of minutes is just spend 5 or 10 minutes explaining how the business side works, if anybody would like to stay on and hear that. And obviously anybody that doesn't is very free to leave as well. So if there are any further questions about the class that we've just taught or how to get the oils, please ask and we're happy to answer them. Okay, so everyone's good, I think.
I'm wondering if Yana is...
Okay, all right. So did you say something, Kyla? Sorry.
I'm just wondering if, I'm probably going to pronounce this wrong, but Yana is typing something. I mean, you could also unmute yourself as well, Han, and share verbally if you'd like. Thank you for the presence. I will have another look into this and then probably connect again. Wonderful. And I'll send the information also to Claire so she can hand it on to you, sweetheart.
Is there a bit of a chat going on? Should we wait?
Yeah, she's just saying goodbye. It's fine.
Okay, so Paris, are you staying on to listen? Hello?
I suppose we should, okay, great. I suppose we should just continue because it's going to be recorded and there'll be others watching this.
Cool. Alrighty, so I normally just like to kind of keep it really simple and just explain maybe just 3 things that are great about the dōTERRA business. So I guess the first one for me would have to be the product. The product, obviously everybody that's watched this class tonight, hopefully, you understand that the product is very different and special in terms of other essential oils out there. We mentioned that dōTERRA is the biggest essential oil company in the world. But first and foremost, the product, people are so attracted to the product and, intuitively kind of know that they want these oils in their lives and that they work so well. So what's so great about sharing these oils is that, we don't really need to sell the oils because the oils sell themselves. So in that respect, we're kind of just the messenger. Somebody that's doing the dōTERRA business, really, it's really just about telling people that the oils are out there and people are drawn to them and want them. So the product is really strong. And because it's so strong, there's something called a retention rate. And the retention rate in Europe particularly is very high. It's around 75%. So what this actually means is that if a customer purchases some oils, then they will purchase again every 3 months. So 75% of 75% of customers that purchase oils will purchase again every 3 months, and 85% of customers that purchase oils will purchase every year. And this is actually compared to around 13% in the network marketing industry. So, that's massive. You can see there that, the difference is very big, and often all it takes for us is to share the oils with people and they love them, and you can really see how a residual income can start to build from that. So I guess the team training, would you say, Kyla, would that be a good one to talk about secondly?
What's that, sweetheart? What was
The team.
Oh.
I was going to ask if we could maybe talk about the team and the training.
Hey, Luca. Hey, buddy. What's going on over there? Hey, what's going on, my buddy? Oh, no. Oh, no, sir. So was it the team training you said? Okay. So in terms of team training, as Sarah and I had mentioned just previously, we've got the support via the WhatsApp group, and this is for customers and for what we call builders. We also have the Facebook groups for customers and for builders. In addition to that, we have team meetings. So we have regular team meetings, monthly team meetings, where we come together and we discuss different topics of interest for the team. So this can be on lots of different things. And then we also have conventions, which are opportunities to learn more about the company, the products, and why they're so amazing, really. We've got people discussing about like the science. They also have, discussing, how to use them, when to use them. We've also got ongoing training, which happens one through online webinars for team members, and also we have recorded videos as well that help support you when you're building your team and your business. Then, of course, the people who you are enrolled by or enroll with will be your key support. So, you have Sarah and I, and also you'll have Ayla and also Claire from this class today. That will be your main supports. And then we also have, people that we work with as well. So you also have our support, but you also have their support, and then we'll have the tribe support. So that includes everyone that's in a team, and often even if we're not within the same team, we still really support each other. So there's infinite amounts of support, and also you just post a question on WhatsApp or you post a question on Facebook, and there's somebody that will respond to you right away. Otherwise, you get in contact with people that you're working directly with, like Sarah or myself or Claire or Ayla.
Well, thank you, darling. And the training is all free as well.
Hey, Luca, do you want to say hi? Do you want to say hi to everybody? I'm going to say hi to your buddy. No. Hello, Luca.
So the compensation.
Say hi.
He's climbing. The compensation plan was probably the last thing that I was going to mention. Just that it's very competitive. Compensation plan again compared to other network marketing companies. And
by competitive, you mean generous.
Say again.
And by competitive, you mean generous.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, I do. And there's many different types of commission available within dōTERRA, and I wouldn't try and explain them all in this call, but the first type, which I will explain just to kind of give you a taste, is called Fast Start. And Fast Start, so if somebody's doing the business, so say you're doing the business and you start, then every time that someone decides to get a kit or some oils or some products through you, then you would earn 20% of that as commission for the first 60 days that they're a customer, 20% before tax, and then after that it does drop down to a lower percentage, which is
how did you like it?
Something called unilevel commission. And so you would get to 20%, but then on the way, you're teaching your classes and other people are getting attracted to you and what you're doing, and you just naturally find people that would also like to do the same thing as you. And with your upline support, you support them getting going, and then obviously they're finding people that want to get oils and also want to do the business. And anything that these guys, your direct downline, are enrolling, you also get 10% of whatever they're doing. And then again, as they find people and you're supporting them to get their people going, when those people are going and they're enrolling people, then you also get 5% of those. So you can see over time, and of course you get, you don't just have one downline and they just don't have one downline. Over time it builds and builds. You can see that there's a real potential to earn good money. So there are lots of other commissions that come into play, but this is really just a little taster for doing the doTERRA business. And what I would encourage is, if you like, the sound of what we've been talking about now, just to kind of get in touch with whoever has sent you to this class, and then they can kind of talk to you more about the opportunity that's available.
Great.
So any questions at all, or anything to add, Kyla?
Well, I mean, it's quite an intricate, dynamic payment system where there's lots of opportunities to make, generous income and commissions. So without going into all of those and complicating things, I think a little bit, I can't see anything really else to add, really. I guess, doing the business as well, it's not just for yourself. It's like, you get the opportunity to support others and help others grow, and support others becoming financially free, and creating lifestyles that they want, or lives that they love. And that's a really rewarding part of this as well. I've got a few friends that have signed up that I know that would be happy to live around the world, and this is a way that they can do that, so they can use products that they believe in. They can help support other friends to create lives that they love, and also create financial freedom and a lifestyle that they love as well. So yeah, it's a really great opportunity. As you can see, I'm in Bali, and I'm still offering the oils, sharing the oils, and I actually have 2 of my customers on the practitioner training that we're doing right now. And they absolutely love their oils, and they're so excited, and they're sharing them, without wanting, not particularly doing the business, but just because, like Sarah said, the oils sell themselves, and everyone's just getting excited about them over here. So yeah, that's how hard I'm working, guys.
Yeah. And hello, Luca. Yeah. And it's flexible, like I don't normally have Luca in my customer focused classes. It's just that we've kind of overrun a tiny bit, and he had to be passed back to me. But the children are often around while I'm working, and if it's a team call that's not customer focused, often children are around. There's plenty of mums with young children that are doing the business, and it's very flexible, and you can really squeeze it into all the little pockets of time if you need to, that you might have in the day. So yes, if you want to find out more, please let one of us know, and we'd be really, really happy to. There's other documents that we can send you to watch or to read, or to have a follow-up call or chat with us as well. So we're really happy to help you there. And there might be one more question on the chat, and then so Paris just had a question that we're going to probably take offline at the end, so that's fine. So I'm going to say good day, good evening to everybody, and
don't say good morning to everyone.
And we'll see you all soon.
No.
Say bye.
No. You just make them go away.
I'm not making them go away. I'm just stopping them.